Good morning, Knicks Nation. Well, now it's almost afternoon, a few minutes before 12, but good morning, technically, Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday. It's the 28th day of October 2021. I hope you're all COVID-free today. I hope you're healthy. I hope your household, your family, and the needs of your family in terms of food and shelter and clothing, as well as health, are being met. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, trying to save lives. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep our places clean. Blessings upon those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on those trying to deliver boys and girls, men, women, and children from the clutches of human trafficking and sex slave operations, from prostitution, child pornography, child molestation, and pedophilia. Blessings upon those trying to deliver these people, trying to save, trying to rescue, trying to help, trying to recover these innocents from these heinous and abominable industries. And curses upon those that support these same industries. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. 600,000 human beings, 600,000 men, women, children, and families, veterans, that are on the streets of the United States today with no housing, and millions around the world in worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom, and blessings also upon those that are trying to help. So tonight, Thursday night, major basketball game tonight. I say major, it's early in the season, so this is only going to be the fifth game, but it's a really big early season test. There's some changes that you can, if you're watching, you can kind of observe. Some of the top teams are moving back, and some of the teams that weren't out at the top are coming forward. For example, Toronto was champion just two seasons ago, maybe 3 seasons ago. They were champions. Now they're 2-3. They're starting off without Pascal Siakam. Remember, and in all of these cases, what I'm going to talk about, and we're talking about Chicago Bulls versus the Knicks today. In all these cases, we talked about that survival of the fittest, right? That the best ability is availability. We could already see that affecting teams this year. Also, overall, as I mentioned before, there's a lot more parity in the NBA right now. It's almost like the big three concept is being played out. It's played out. Okay. So you have a couple of issues. You have the issue of more of a back to playing basketball the right way and building teams the right way concept. You also have situations where injuries are always going to affect teams, and now having depth. I believe this year, especially, you're going to see depth is going to become more important than almost anything else. Because again, the best ability is availability. So like the Brooklyn Nets last night, they lost last night. The Brooklyn Nets lost, and they're 2-3. Last night, I think they lost to Miami, and they're 2-3 on the season right now. Last night, Boston lost to Washington. Charlotte beat Orlando, but Orlando was giving them all they could handle for 4 quarters. Orlando actually had the lead going into the fourth, and young teams, even against us, they did the same thing. Young teams will always give you a chance to come back. That's why they're young teams. They always will give you a chance to come back. But in Milwaukee, Minnesota beat Milwaukee yesterday. In Milwaukee. Yesterday, New Orleans lost to Atlanta by 3, and that was another very contested game. We're going to be playing New Orleans this weekend. Very tightly contested game. New Orleans had the lead in the fourth quarter and gave it away. Okay. Indiana lost to Toronto. And so you can see, the Lakers were up 26 and lost in Oklahoma City to Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City won, not on court number 1 going away, 123-115. And so Sacramento beat Phoenix. So it's much more parity in the league this year. On any given night, anybody can beat anybody. Okay. And we're seeing that early. And so, but at the end of the day, experience and depth are going to pay the big roles. Now, in the Eastern Conference, I mentioned Brooklyn is 2-3. Boston is 2-3, right? Indiana is 1-4. Philly is 2-2. Okay. Now on the upside though, the top of the pile, Chicago's 4-0. Charlotte's 4-1. I told you I watched Charlotte. Charlotte's going to be rough. I mean, they're already rough. Gordon Hayward just came back and they're playing better. And I was watching the game last night. He is back in the flow. He's looking really sharp. I mean, a couple of nights ago, like maybe 2-3 games ago, he wasn't. But now, he's a slasher, mid-range type of shooter. Reminds me a little bit of John Havlicek from back in the day, a guy that runs continually. And they don't even have Scary Terry back yet. When they get him, they're going to really be rough. So they are number 2 right now in the East at 4-1. Then there's our New York Knicks at 3-1. Then there's the Miami Heat, Washington Wizards 3-1, Atlanta 3-1. The Bucks are 3-2 right now. Problem with the Bucks right now, and I've been watching a couple of their games. The problem with the Bucks, they're missing very key players right now. They're missing some key players right now. They are missing, due to injury, Brook Lopez. They're missing Jrue Holiday and Dante DiVincenzo. Very key players. They just got Bobby Portis back and he's not in the flow yet. So they're behind. Even with Giannis Antetokounmpo. They lost to Minnesota last night. And Minnesota was trying to give them the game back and they couldn't come back. And so the injuries are going to hurt them. We talk about a Jrue Holiday and a Brook Lopez. These are 2 key pieces of their championship run last year. Okay. So they're not going to be able to come anywhere close to repeating unless they get these guys back. So what's going to happen now? Some of these teams, we talk about the injuries. Some of these teams are going to get healthy during the course of the season and make runs later. Now, I don't know which ones they're going to be because I don't know whose injury is going to keep who out for how long. But they're going to be behind everybody when they all get healthy. Okay. The good thing right now, we're healthy. Charlotte is healthy. I mentioned Gordon Hayward is back. And Chicago is healthy. Chicago is healthy. Okay. Now, Chicago is missing Kobe White. Very key piece to their bench. Not slowed them down because they got Alex Caruso, who's playing out of his mind, and he signed a big contract and he's playing really good. So they got Alex Caruso backing up Lonzo Ball coming off the bench. They're playing Ayu Dosunmu also. They, of course, got Zach LaVine. They got DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams. They got Derek Jones. He's a nice, but honestly, their bench is nowhere deep like our bench, So we're going to see Zach LaVine's day-to-day. Kobe White is out. They don't give you the report because Derek Jones was out. Zach LaVine is day-to-day. Why is he day-to-day? Let's take a look. Why is Zach LaVine day-to-day? Diagnosed with a small ligament tear in his thumb of his non-shooting hand. So that's not an insignificant injury, but it's not an injury, obviously, that keeps him out the lineup. So in his non-shooting hand, his thumb has got a tear in the ligament. That must be painful. He's going to have that wrapped up, but apparently he's going to play through it. So you got, Chicago, but they're starting 5. Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Pat Will, and Nikola Vucevic have been killing. And then they've been getting really, like I mentioned, they've been getting really good play from Alex Caruso. Troy Brown's been giving him some good minutes also. And Javonte Green's been kind of a revelation. Nobody's heard of him. I didn't. And then all of a sudden, he's playing really well for them. I've been watching him a couple of games. He got major springs. Really good cleaning up the garbage type guy. So they're running on all cylinders right now. So, with that in mind, and we're playing them tonight, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight. So look, on our side, we got to stick to the principles that made us who we are right now. The identity of the Knicks is a team that everybody, I was listening to Philadelphia station when they talk about how we beat Philly. I was listening to Boston and I was listening to Atlanta, and they all say the same thing. Tough, fight, grind it out, defensive team that's now shooting threes. The NBA is starting to catch on now. The media, forget them. Don't even listen to them. Because that's about entertainment for, the masses, and what they try to do is agitate Knick Nation with falsehoods so that we just keep watching them. That's the whole point, y'all. That's why I don't watch ESPN no more. I don't want to hear it. I don't even watch it on YouTube. Okay, so only time I watch it is if the Knicks are playing on their channel. That's it. Okay, and I don't know if they're doing that tonight or not. I don't think it's a nationally televised game, but that's the only reason I would watch them. Otherwise, I wouldn't watch them. I don't watch them. It's a waste of time. I get entertainment from watching the games, right? I don't need false entertainment, frustration. I don't need to reward them by giving them dollars from advertising because I'm watching them. Forget them. Forget them. So, yeah, that's that. So, tonight is going to be on NBA TV. So, I'll be watching on NBA TV. But, let me tell you a couple of things. Right now, I don't know, but y'all remember before we started the season, I told y'all that Tom Thibodeau is going to go through the 3-point revolution. Remember that video? I don't know if I can put it in here, but that video, Tom Thibodeau is going through the 3-point revolution. And I told y'all the Knicks going to be high scoring. I told y'all it's going to be 119 points a game. Well, guess what? Right now, the Knicks are averaging 119 points a game. They're giving up 110 points a game. So they got to improve on the defense a little bit. I think we all see that. I'm not expecting them to be under 100 for everybody, but I think they could get 2 points, 3 points better. Get down to like 107. Right now, that +9, and let me explain, that means the difference between what you allow your opponents to score and what you score on average. So the Knicks on average score 119 points a game. On average, we give up 110 points a game. So now that difference +9. You want that plus to be really long. Like for example, there are other teams, like in the Eastern Conference, the Orlando Magic are -14, which means they give up 115 points a game and they score 101. Okay? See? So you don't want to be that. And Knicks have been there in the last 20 years multiple times. We know that. But not no more. Not right now. We got the new culture. We returned over new lease. Now Chicago scores 98 points a game scores 108 points a game and gives up 98. Excuse me. They score 108 and give up 98. That means they're +10. Now, the thing about Chicago, that we don't want to sleep on them, but 2 of their wins came against Detroit. Okay. 2 of their wins came against Detroit. I'm saying, and what I'm saying is, okay, Detroit, they're a very young team. They beat Detroit 97-82 and 94-88. They beat the Pelicans pretty handily, 128-112. And again, I mentioned they barely got by the Raptors, their last game, 111-108. That was their first real game. Okay, against a real team. A real NBA team. So the Raptors, they beat them by 3. 111-108. That was on Monday night. I saw that game. So we really are going to represent the real most serious test for Chicago. So they are going to come to play. They're not going to sleep on us. Nobody going to sleep on the Knicks right now. Because even though the media ain't caught up to it yet, they ain't asked nobody yet, but the teams know. So they're not going to sleep on us. They're going to come ready to play tonight. And from our side, we're going to come ready to play. I'm expecting us to come out with the defensive intensity that we started with the other night. I'm expecting Kemba Walker to be aggressive again tonight. I don't know what his shooting percentage is going to be, but he just needs to be aggressive. I need him to be getting in the paint, taking shots, putting pressure on the defense. That's what he does. We need him to do that. We need RJ. He may start slow, but he's going to have to play defense. I'm not sure if they're going to have RJ guarding. I'm thinking they're going to have RJ guarding Pat Will or Levine. That's what I'm thinking. They might have him guarding either Pat Will or Levine. I know. I think what will happen, Pat Will's going to be on Julius. He's going to be on Julius. RJ's going to either be guarding DeRozan or Levine. Probably Levine. And I can see, because he's the tougher cover, and RJ wants the toughest cover. So then you're going to have Evan Fournier, guarding DeMar DeRozan. Okay, and so DeRozan is premier mid-range scorer in the NBA. Premier. I mean during the course of a regular season. He's not that great in the playoffs. But during the course of regular season, he is all-star level premier mid-range scorer. And DeRozan's 3-point shot has gotten better. I've seen him a couple of games knocking down threes where I was surprised. As a matter of fact, he's shooting 38% from 3 right now. So you can't really even sleep on him there. So, in the last 10 games, he's been shooting 38% from 3. So, he's going to be a handful for Evan Fournier. He's going to be a handful for him. But I'm pretty confident. Evan's been playing y'all seen, he's been playing much better defense going along. Okay. Vucevic and Mitch Rob. Vucevic better be lining up there out there to shoot some threes. He better not come close to the lane because the block nest monster's waiting for him. So I'm not worried about that either. Okay. Then there's going to be Lonzo Ball against Kemba Walker. Now, Lonzo is a premier defender. He really is. And at this stage, I think Kemba's going to be tested. He's going to have to go at Lonzo. He's going to have to go at him. Lonzo's a premier defender. I think that's one of the reasons they're paying him all this money. He really is good defense at the point of attack. And he hits threes. Now, thing about Lonzo that he doesn't really go off the dribble. So in that regard, offensively, he's a little bit of Reggie Bullock. Like, in other words, he can spot up and kill you, but he's not going to be a threat to get in the lane and go off the dribble. So I think Kemba can guard him. If you got to really shadow him, but I think Kemba can guard him. The test is going to be, of course, with Levine and DeRozan. Vucevic has been a Knick killer since he was in Orlando. He's always been a Knick killer. But I'm not worried about him when we got a healthy Mitch Rob. I'm not worried about him either with the small ball lineup with Taj and Obi. Not worried about him that much. But DeRozan, Levine, we got to be watching for them. And I think you got to watch Lonzo on the spot up, Jay, kicking out from the other guys that get the penetration. He's not really a penetrator. So I think that gives Kemba a shot at really being able, normally Kemba's our weakest link defensively, right? Because of his stature, right? He tries hard. You can see he takes a lot of, charges. I think he's always in the top, like 3 or 4 in the NBA in taking charges. He does that very willingly. So he's a willing defender. Just that he's small in stature, not strong enough for some of these cats out here. So I'm thinking he should be able to guard Lonzo because Lonzo is not a penetrator. Now, Alex Caruso is more of a penetrator. Caruso's more of a penetrator than Lonzo is. And Caruso can shoot the ball. Caruso's just overall better offensively than Lonzo is. I'm not sure about his defense, but he's better offensively. Let me put it this way, though. What I'm really trying to say to you about Caruso is neither Caruso, nor Lonzo, nor Kobe White, nor anybody they got can guard D-Rose. D-Rose coming back home to play, baby. It's like, when people come to the Garden and try to show out, it's D-Rose turn. He's going to be at home in Chicago. It's going to be a night where they're honoring his boy, Joakim Noah. Okay? Tibbs is going to be there. D-Rose is going to be there. It's going to be on tonight. So forget them with D-Rose. D-Rose is going to handle business. I want to see that small ball lineup for that 15 minutes we've been talking about. But Tibbs really was 12 last time, 12, 15. I want to see that. Obi's got to come to play. Obi has got to come to play. When he comes out tonight, he's going to be facing Troy Brown Jr., Derek Jones. That's the second unit guys he'll be dealing with. Elise Johnson, he'll be dealing with these guys in the second unit. He'll be dealing with them. Okay. And so, we need Obi on this game tonight and they got to deal with him. Now, Derek Jones is a tremendous athlete and defender. Tremendous athlete and defender. So this is going to be a night for Obi also. Okay. This is going to be on. This is going to be a dogfight. We are so evenly matched with this team and we win this game and we are tied for the top of the East. We'll be tied at the top of the East with Charlotte. Yep. We'll be tied with Charlotte for the top of the East. So this is going to be it, baby. So tonight, it's a big game for us. I mean, it's really early in the season, right? We ain't played 10 games yet, but it's a statement game. It's a send a message type of game. That's what this is. A send a message to the team you're playing and to the NBA. That's what this is tonight. Send a message type of game. Okay. Early season send a message, especially playing Chicago. Chicago's off to its best start since 96. That's when Jordan and Rodman and them was playing. They're off to their best start since then. They never had this kind of start before. So this is good. And the Knicks at 3-1. I don't know when's the last time we started the season 3-1. Okay. We never start that well. I mean, I don't even remember the last time they started that well. So there's that too. This is going to be a barn burner, y'all. This is going to be a barn burner. I think our depth, our second unit wins us this game. And of course, if Kemba plays Kemba style, I'm thinking that wins us this game. If Julius does lets the game come to him like he did last week, what was that, Tuesday night? Let the game come to him. Don't force it. I mean, he's playing against a rookie, Pat Williams, so I don't want him to get in his head thinking I'm going to destroy this rookie. Pat Williams ain't no regular rookie, okay? So he needs to be respectful, let the game come to him, do his thing, play his game. RJ's also an X factor. If RJ if his shot is on tonight, if his 3-point shot, he's been shooting very well from three. If he starts lighting it up, that could also be a game changer. Okay. But I don't think he's going to do that. He's going to be having his hands full with Zach LaVine. So I don't expect him a big scoring game out of RJ today, unless it's tight in the second half, third, fourth quarter. He always comes through then. But I'm expecting him to be really having his hands full with Zach LaVine, and I'm expecting him to do a good job on Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is one of the toughest covers in the NBA. So, and he's really all-star level, right now. So that's that. But I think Kemba is going to be a key in our bench, the small unit. When you're coming off the bench with Taj, with Obi, with Burks, IQ, you coming off the bench with that crew right there. That's going to be the key. I'm hoping they don't bring back Nerlens Noel tonight, because he's going to have to get acclimated, and he would kind of mess up the minutes rotation. I'd rather him come back against New Orleans Saturday night. When we're on the road, Tom can experiment with him a little bit, see where he wants to put him. Because I like Taj Gibson in that small ball lineup. I think eventually Nerlens would be good there too, maybe, because he can run. Nerlens runs. He doesn't have good hands though, but he runs. And of course he's defensive oriented. But right now, I really like that lineup with either Julius at the 5 or Taj at the 5 and running. That's why it's small ball, because your 5-man is only like 6'8", 6'9", right? So let's see what happens. It's going to be a bomb burner. But I think the Knicks bench causes them to prevail tonight. And I think if Kemba's aggressive, because remember, before this past game, the starting unit was -17. That means they were being outscored by 17 points, the starting unit. Okay. So with this last game, though, I think it changed, because they came out very strong. Kemba was aggressive. We came out very strong. So if Kemba continues that, and we don't have to start out with the second unit, that small ball coming out with a deficit, if you can get him a lead coming out, that's good. Because this past, I think when the small ball unit came in, I want to say we were down by 4, I think, when they came into the game. And they went on a 14-4 run and put us in the lead. If we could get that starting unit to give them a positive when they come on the floor, that's going to be good. And Kemba's going to be key to that. Okay. So we now got to see Kemba get loose. You got to see Kemba be aggressive, start the game off aggressive, go right at Lonzo, and, test him. He's a good defender. We got to test him. So, let's see if we could do that. And, I believe the Knicks will prevail. We can't take them lightly, and I don't think the Knicks are. But I think we have a chance to win this game in Chicago with those things. Give me Kemba being Kemba. Give me that second unit. That's going to be the advantage, because our second unit is better than theirs. And let Julius allow the game to come to him. Those are the keys right there. I'm assuming Mitch Rob is going to be Mitch Rob. I'm assuming Evan Fournier is going to be Fournier, and RJ is going to have his hands full trying to deal with LaVine on the defensive end. So it's going to take away something from his offense a little bit, but that's okay. As long as he can stop LaVine from going off, he did his job tonight. So that's the keys to the game. We're going to be on Nick of Time show after, doing a little post-game analysis with my man Jay Ellis, Ryan G in the building, KOT on YouTube. And then, of course, tomorrow morning, I'll give my analysis on the game as it unfolded, and we'll talk about that. But in the meantime, today's Thursday, one more day until Friday. Please have a safe and healthy day today. Shalom.